What's happening? I'm back. Got out of there, back to the hotel, ready to. I already got packed up. Got everything packed up. I'm ready to go for tomorrow. I'm ready to get back to the Bay. Like 6 days. I'm toast. Done. I mean, look, it's a nice hotel. It's a really, really nice hotel. Then the area is cool. They got some nice restaurants here. Had a nice Mexican dinner while I was here. They got a pretty good craft beer. Although when they say extensive craft beer selection, it ain't the Bay Area. Trust me on that one. So, but it's cool. It's fun. But I'm ready to get home. I'm ready to come home to Sweet Home Alameda. Let's go. Get home to Alameda and I'll be good for the week. We got draft tomorrow too. But anyway, let's get to the Warrior game. Jimmy got hurt. Good night. Thanks for having me. Appreciate you guys staying up. I mean, look, that is the story. Jimmy Butler got hurt, fell on his tailbone, and that hurts like a mother. I guess I can say it since we're on YouTube. That hurts like a motherfucker. I've had my twice. I've dinged up my tailbone. The first time was when I was on a mountain, and you know those saucers that you like take down the mountain? Those things should be illegal, by the way. There's like no steering on those things, no brakes on those things. You just get in that thing and hope for the best. Well, at that point, my best was just hanging on, because about halfway down the run, I started spinning wildly out of control and then went off the run into the ungroomed snow and found a stump. My tailbone found a stump, and it hurt. Oh, it hurt. And the thing about the tailbone is it's just hard to get loose. It's painful. The pain isn't debilitating a lot of times, but it's just you can't loosen it up. It's not a muscle, so it's hard to get that thing loose. So hopefully he'll be playing Saturday. And then Pajemski must have had the Kobe club, so he didn't play. When he played, he didn't play well. Got a goose egg tonight. He just wasn't feeling it, man. You're under the weather. You have some bad sushi or bad whatever he had. Hit him wrong, and he just so you lost two guys out of your starting five, and two guys that can make plays, two guys that are ball handlers. So you put a lot of pressure on Draymond and Steph, and what did they end up with? I know at one point they both had five turnovers tonight, and 5 turnovers each. So they had 15 as a team. Draymond had 5, Steph had 5, and just it's asking a lot of two guys to say, "Hey, you got to make the plays now. You got to handle the ball now. You got to." So, I mean, it is what it is, and you knew it was going to be a tough game. You knew with Jalen Green coming out on fire and the Rocket crowd coming out on fire, and it's going to be a desperate team. Going to be a desperate team. They're already down 1-0. Can't afford to go down 2-0 at home and expect to win the series. So that's one they're going to be geared up for. They're going to be ready to go. And they were. And they got up early and then got up big and held the lead. And the Warriors, chipped away, got it down to 10-11. Every time they got it down to 10-11, it went right back to 15, 16, 17, 18. They just couldn't get that shot to get it under 10 to 8 to 7, something like that. Couldn't do it. And that was, and give Jalen Green credit. He was fantastic tonight. I thought he was really good tonight. Hit a lot of shots that I don't mind him taking, to be perfectly honest, but he was hitting them tonight. Tip your cap, move on, and you stick to the scouting report. But really, there wasn't a lot different. The Warriors did a much better job on the offensive glass, or on their defensive glass, I should say, the Rockets' offensive glass. What was it tonight? I think they had 22 offensive rebounds in game 1. I think they only had 7 tonight. Let's see. They had 11 offensive rebounds, but they didn't kill them on the offensive glass. They only had the Warriors actually had more second chance points than the Rockets did, 11-6. And the Rockets only had 10 fast break points, so it wasn't like they got out in the open court and really destroyed him. But what they did do is get penetration, get to the paint. Jalen Green got to the paint, got comfortable, then started hitting some threes, and that was it. And the Warriors just didn't have enough firepower to keep up with them. Steph is earning every single bucket that he gets. Like, he's having to really work for it. And I know some of you are like ready with your, Steph gets grabbed and Steph gets held and Steph gets this and Steph gets that. And he does, but it's a whole league. The Warriors were called for 18 personal fouls. The Rockets were called for 17. What do you want? That's about as fair as it gets when they're even up on fouls. So, and you're losing. You're losing Jimmy Butler, and you're losing Podziemski. Butler's the guy you give the ball to and let him make plays. Butler's the guy you give the ball to get to the free throw line. Butler's the guy you get the ball to if you want to penetrate and get into the paint, get into the restricted area, and make people pay for not doubling you. That's what he does. That's who he is. You didn't have that guy. And then you didn't have Podziemski, who can also do some things. So it was just a tough night, and it got even tougher when Jimmy went out with the injury. So he's going to have the MRI tomorrow, and they'll know more. Steph missed a couple games, I think. Brewers Gold, Russian River. So, yeah, Houston sushi can be sketchy. We went to a dinner last night. It was like a fish house, and I'm not saying fish can't be good in Houston. I'm just saying, like, I joked with one of my buddies. I go, there's two places I think of when I think of fresh fish: Hawaii and Houston. The two H's, the big ones. You can catch some sweet mahi off the coast of, I don't know, San Antonio Avenue down here in Houston. Probably not. So I don't generally think of Houston with fresh. Maybe I could be wrong, but I didn't risk it. I went burger anyway. Yeah, when I think of Texas, I think beef. I absolutely think beef. You want a steak, Texas? I'm in. We're good. Tex-Mex? Absolutely. I'm in. Went to a Mexican restaurant the first night I was here. Fantastic. What did I have? The carne asada tacos. Fantastic. Yeah. Fish, not so much. I'm not looking for your Chilean sea bass here in Houston, but again, who knows? I could be wrong. And so that was the story of the game tonight. Jimmy getting hurt. So, like I said, Steph missed 2 games when he fell on his tailbone earlier this year, and I just remember it being about not just about pain tolerance when I fell on my tailbone, but it was also about the ability to get loose and to move, have mobility of movement. So, we'll see how it ends up going. And I hope he's healthy, not because, I'd like to see the Warriors win, like to see the Warriors move on, all that kind of stuff. But I want to see the players healthy come playoff time. I want everybody to be healthy come playoff time. I want the best versus the best come playoff time. This means that most of the players, they play the longest stints. They play the hardest. They're most locked in. And I want to see the best players play against the best players. That's all I want. So whether it's the Warriors, the Rockets, the Lakers, the Nuggets, the Bucks, the Pacers, whoever, I just want them to be healthy. I want to watch the best versus the best. Tom Clark said, "So Tom, dirty play on Jimmy." No. I mean, the guy's falling down. How do you plan that? Like, okay, he's up in the air. I'm going to undercut him. For those that didn't notice, Amen Thompson was also down. Like, he got dinged up too. So I don't think that was dirty at all. At least the way I looked at it. And I saw the replay of it. I didn't see anything dirty. I didn't see someone that was trying to hurt someone. I saw a guy that was stumbling forward and clipped the guy's heels that was in a vulnerable position. But there were like 4 guys battling underneath for rebounding, and it's fierce under there. I mean, they were getting after it. So I didn't, I didn't see anything dirty at all. It wasn't something that I looked at and go, oh, let me look at that again, because I thought it was a dirty play by Owen Thompson. I didn't. Maybe if I looked at it again, I might think differently, but I've seen it a couple times now, so I just didn't think it was a dirty play. I didn't think twice about that play, to be honest. So no, dirty play. No, to me, absolutely not. But what did the Rockets, I mean, other than the fact they won the game, like what did they show you offensively that makes you think they figured something out? Because to me, it was really nothing. It was Jalen Green getting hot, right? He got hot, and he's explosive, and he can get hot. And look, Şengün will probably be more efficient, score more points next game, all those sort of. Dylan Brooks can score some more points. Jabari Smith Jr., I thought, could be a key going into this series. He really hasn't done much offensively, but I still think they're going to have a hard time scoring against the Warriors, especially if Jimmy and Pods can play. I just don't think they have enough shooting to really space the court, but they play hard. I mean, they play their ass off. There's no doubt about it. They get after you. And the Warriors, the last 3 games, counting the last time they played them in the regular season, have scored 94, 95, 96. In fact, I think it was in the inverse order, 96, 95, 94. So if you believe in ABC sequencing, they should score 93 next game, which very well could be good enough to win. It's an interesting series in that I told Tim when we were doing pregame that the Warriors of 2015, 2016, I always thought run more, run, because the more possessions they got, the better chance they had to win because they were the more talented team. And it stands to reason that if you're the more talented team, the more possessions you get, the more the odds are going to play in your favor. I think the Warriors are like a half-court team now. I think they got to play in the half court, especially against the Rockets team, because the Rockets in the half court do not scare me on offense, except for the glass. They scare me more in the open court with their athleticism. So if you can not push tempo and keep it to a half court possession game, I think the Warriors stand a better chance of winning, and I think that's where they have the edge. So to me, if you can keep it in the 105 and lower range, I think the Warriors have a great chance of winning. You start getting 110 and above, I think it probably plays to the Rockets' favor, which is weird to think about the Warriors like not being able to. Now, they could win a game like that, no doubt about it, but I just think they have a better chance to win if it's a lower possession game. What's the beer tonight? I just said it's Russian River Brewers Gold. There you go, a little hazy IPA. Don't drink a lot of hazy IPAs anymore. I think the next one I have will be a pale ale, but I'll go. I mean, it's, look, Vinny makes the beer. If Vinny makes it, I'm going to try it. It's a good beer. Yep, good beer. Confirmed. And so it was like a 4-pack. It was like a 12-pack, but it was a 4-pack. It was Brewers Gold. It was double dry hop Pliny. And it was Dr. Ron with an A at the end. Dr. Ron. That was really good too. It's the first time I had that. It's like a New Zealand IPA beer. So it's got like 2 or 3 New Zealand hops. I think it had Nelson in it and Ruaka in it, and maybe one other one. But that was a good one too. I enjoyed that. So I've ripped through that one. But I brought them on the road with me. I got a couple more. Maybe I'll leave a surprise beer in here for the next person that stays in this room. They can have it. But what if I left it to somebody they don't even appreciate good beer? That would suck. They'll probably move it aside and is there like a liquor called like a beverage, like a malted beverage or something called? I know it's not called Bolsa Chica. Is it Topo Chica? Topa, it's not Topa Chico. Now you're gonna get me saying the stupid salsa that guy when I was doing the radio show, Topa Chico, or yeah, I don't know, but I think it's like Topa Chica or something like that. They got a couple of those in there. Never had it. It looks like the Zima of the 2020s, although I'm not really sure exactly what it is. So anyway, look, the Warriors got out with a split. The Warriors got out with a split, and that's what you want on the road, right? You wrestled home court away, so you're good. What was that one? I wish Lou was there. Yeah, no, Lou does not travel. I'm sorry. Lou ain't traveling. Lou's home chilling. I'll see Lou tomorrow. Can you imagine Lou? No, I don't want to see Lou in a hotel room. That would not be good. Although, quick story, we took our cat Axel, who we got in Charlotte, and he was a feral cat, so he was always a little bit wild, and we adopted him or whatever. I don't know if you really adopt a cat. I mean, look, you guys know I love animals. You guys know I love my cats. You know I love Lou, Topo Chico. So ranch water. So anyway, you guys know I love my animals. They got the bunny, had the turtle, all these things, and I just, when people like start attributing like I'm their mom or I'm their dad or I'm like, fuck off. What are you talking? You go away. Okay. I'm sorry. You're not like, stop. I'm a cat mom or a dog dad, or just fucking stop. Just stop. If you were locked in your house with your dog and you died and your dog had to eat, he'd probably eat you. I know the cat would, no doubt about it. Think about that. They just would. So, and give me that mom dad stuff. But you know I love my animals. So anyway, we had Axel, and we were taking Axel across country with us. We're going from Charlotte to the Bay with a cat in the car. And so Axel, and if you know anything about cats aren't like dogs, right? Dogs got to drop a deuce. They don't really even care. Do you see it? Don't care. Over there, don't care. Just, hunch up in their little ball and pa. All right. No shame in my game. Let me keep on moving. Cats aren't like that. Cats hide. Cats are like, nah, I'm really not proud of this, so I'm just going to go ahead and, hide if you don't mind. Get in the litter. Here's a little good to go. Well, there was no litter in the car. There was a bunch of luggage and a small place under the luggage to crawl. And that's exactly where Axel decided to drop his deuce under there. So we were driving down the road, and this god awful smell in the car. I'm like, oh my gosh, that is awful. We had to unload all the luggage in the back, all of it, take it all out, bottom, lift this little thing up. There it was. Bam. Couldn't believe it. So we get to the hotel room. We had to sneak Axel in because you couldn't they're not going to allow cats in the hotel room. So we sneak Axel in, and we get a little pie tin. And in the pie tin, we fill it with litter. So Axel could use that to go to the bathroom at night. Turn the lights off, go to bed. About 20 minutes later, all of a sudden, here, pie tin over here, kitty litter over here. So now it's just the room's an incredible mess. We weren't supposed to have the cat there in the first place, but we end up having the cat there with kitty litter everywhere. I did manage to corral the crap and put that in the toilet and get rid of that, but I didn't have a vacuum. I couldn't get rid of all the kitty litter. That was a disaster. That was an absolute disaster. So we had to go through that twice. We drove about 16 hours a day to get the hell out of there. But yeah, Axel is the best, and I love. I love all of my animals are parts of the family. I will say that they are parts of the family. But I'm not a dog dad. I'm not a cat dad. I'm not a bunny dad. And just we're pals. How about that? Let's leave it at that. So coming home on Saturday, you're 1-1. So now the job is win Saturday. If you can, win Saturday, win Monday. And you're up 3-1, then you put yourself in the driver's seat. Now, all this is going to be contingent on Butler being healthy. I will say that one of the bright spots of today's game was Quentin Post getting hot. He missed, I think, his first 3 threes of the series. He didn't hit a 3 for the first 6 quarters of the series. Excuse me. And then he went 4 for 7 in the second half tonight. So hopefully that will carry over because he gives him a little punch. He can stretch the court a little bit for you and give everybody else a little more opportunity to roam, a little room to create, whether you're just creating passing lanes for someone else, you're creating scoring opportunities for yourself, like if you're Steph. So hopefully that will come into play in game 3, that Quentin will continue to shoot the ball well. But this was a number 2 seed. These aren't chumps. You're just going to roll these guys 4 straight or maybe even 5, but this is a good basketball team. And they got pride, and they got a little chip. They got a little chippy at the end, which I like. I like a playoff series to be spicy. I don't want it mild. I don't need a mild playoff series. I need a spicy playoff series. And we got players that can make it spicy. Draymond, Dylan Brooks, Eason can get a little spicy. So I like that. I like that in my playoff series. I like a little spice in my playoff series. So crowd should be raucous on Saturday night. Should be ready to go. Pods should be good to go. I mean, he with the food poisoning, that should be out of your body, in a day or so. So he should be ready to go on Saturday. But, obviously it's huge. It's absolutely huge. Butler coming back. So we will see where it is. If we want to go ahead and throw some comments in there, we did that for 45 minutes or so last show. But again, there isn't as much to get into in this game because so much of it is predicated on Jimmy Butler going down. Hey, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? I mean, that's and then pods, and that's it. So anyway, tonight really show why Kaminga is not in the rotation lately. Yeah, look, it is what it is. He just whatever. I know we've spent a lot of time talking about him, and people are fascinated with him. I think because a lot of people get fascinated with like athletes that can do incredible things, and he is that. He's an incredible athlete that can do incredible things, but he just doesn't fit into the plans right now. Doesn't mean he can't. He got his chance tonight, and he was, about the same as he usually is. A couple nice plays, a couple nights on nice plays, just okay. But his attitude's been good. He's been working hard, and I thought he stayed ready for his shot, and he got it tonight when Kaminga went out. But no matter how well you play, you get yourself ready for game 3, and you say, hey, I'm going to play game 3. You prepare yourself for playing game 3, and if you play, you play. You're ready mentally. If you don't, you don't, and that's all you can do right now. And so, before we get to our next comment, and you just throw that up there whenever you want to. I mean, look what happened in the Lakers. This man wants some goatee maintenance tips. Look at this thing. Are you kidding me? You think they're tips to this thing? I mean, I don't even know what to do with this thing. I don't. I need to shave it somehow. I don't know what the hell I'm going to do, but I don't know why I decided to go into a tombstone mode, but I have. I was going to say, look what happened to the Lakers in the T-Wolves game 2, right? Minnesota takes game 1. Lakers came out and thump them game 2. That's the playoffs. I mean, teams aren't going to roll over unless you're a super dominant team and you go in there and take the first 2 on the road. Doesn't happen a lot. Lakers did the same thing. All right, you got us game 1, and they came and beat them up in the first quarter. And then, Minnesota did the same thing the Warriors did. Cut it to 10, cut it to 9, cut it to 11, whatever it is, boom, back to 15, back to 16, back to 18, back down to 9, back down to 11, back down to, boom, up to 18. So didn't surprise me at all. I have expected the Rockets to win this one tonight, and you got one. That was the goal. You just didn't want to go down 2-0, and then if you lose one at home, then you're down 3-1 and you're screwed at that point. And so do I think the refs call a tighter game on Saturday? You know, the more I watch the NBA now, the more they're letting these guys get away. I mean, I always watch the NBA a lot, but they're letting guys get away with a lot more. It's a lot more physical. From a betting perspective, going into tonight's action, I think the unders were 10-3. And what was I think the over-under on the Warrior game tonight was 207. And it lands 204. So that went under. I think the Celtic game went on. No, the Celtic game went over. Celtic game went over. And I'm not sure about the Cavalier game. But it was 10-3 going into tonight. It's more physical. Guys grab more, guys hold more. I watch it out there. I'm like, my goodness. You remember last year at the beginning of the year, it was like 135, 132, 146, 138. Like it just scoring was insane. I was like, what is going on here? Is anybody allowed to play defense? Then they corrected. I think they overcorrected. It's not the mid 90s, early 2000s where it's like, good night, I'm watching a football game. Not that bad, but it's pretty physical out there. They let these guys get after it. So I expect, look, going into this series, they have played 5 times. Now they played 7 times. In only one of the 7 games have both teams scored 100 points. That's what this series is about. It's going to be grimy, going to be gritty, it's going to be defensive minded, and it's going to be physical. And that's just the way it is. So I don't know if they're going to call it any tighter. So am I taking Dubs minus 2.5 on Saturday? No, I won't. I don't bet on Warrior games. In fact, I don't bet on NBA games. I'd like to. League rules says no. Football, cool. Baseball, cool. Just nothing NBA related. So, but I wouldn't. I just wouldn't bet. I wouldn't bet on a Warrior game anyway. But if Jimmy was fine, minus 2.5, that sounds, yeah. But if I had to, yeah, I'd go with the Dubs. I would suspect if Butler's playing and he's healthy, that line would probably be 4.5. So I would think Jimmy's probably worth a couple points, something like that. And maybe, probably wouldn't get up to 5. That's probably a little too much. So I would say 4.5. But yeah, if Jimmy's not playing, laying 2.5, I wouldn't take the Rockets, put it that way. I don't know if I'd be all that interested in the game. But I mean, yeah, if Jimmy were healthy, 2.5 to me would be like, that'd be go zone. You can go ahead and let that one go. So if you can bet it now and then just hope Jimmy plays, keep your fingers crossed, get your 2.5 locked in. But if Jimmy doesn't play, it could go down to 1. I mean, that's also a possibility. So how many beers can Tom crush in one night? You know what? Nowadays, I think the most, probably in the last few years, the most I've ever drank is like maybe 5 or 6 beers in a night. And that's rarely. Usually for me, it's 3. 2, 3, or 4. Right in there. 2 or 3 or 4. Right in that little range, that little sweet spot range. Like 4 is about as high as I'll go. Although, and look, disclaimer, I'm not proud of this. Don't try this. We're in Vegas one night. We're for the March Madness. Well, it was one day, one afternoon, and one night. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, over the course of, we watched basketball for 14 hours that day. 14 hours. And my buddies said, because I told them they were out of their skull, they said I had at least, this sounds ridiculous, 32 beers. Like, that sounds like Andre the Giant shit, right? Like Andre the Giant's drinking like 32 beers. No, that wasn't Kermit the Frog. That was the Martian. Remember the cartoon Martian guy? They go, no, it was the lion. You know, he got hit in the head. He goes, 3 or 4. That guy. I don't even remember his name. But yeah, 32. They said, yeah. They're like, bro, you're there for like 14 hours. You had like 2 beers an hour. That's not that big a deal. You had like 30. They go at least 32 beers, maybe more than 32 beers. So, and I was like, Tom, you might have a problem. And then I looked at my buddy, and my buddy said, what do you like in the Oregon game? I go, give me Oregon +4. And we won, and that's when I figured I didn't have a problem. I was good to go. Wade Boggs scoffs at 32. Yeah, Wade Boggs eats fucking chicken, though, every night, so that's not me. That was the story about Wade Boggs. He had chicken before every game. It's superstitious. But no, like, I love beer, but I don't drink. I do not drink to get inebriated. I just like the taste of it. I'm a big fan of craft beer. You guys know that. So I like, I just like the taste of beer. If Butler isn't back, do you start Kaminga? Kaminga's not starting. I don't think. I do not think Kaminga will start. Gee, maybe. I'd have to think about that for a minute. Right? So you got Steph, you got Pods will start. And they got Draymond and Moody will start. So you need someone that can, let's see, Draymond, Pajemski, maybe another floor spacer. You got a 1, you got 2. I'm trying to think. I mean, you could go ultra small. Nah, you wouldn't go with GP. Gee's probably the guy for me that would start in that situation. And so I'm thinking, I mean, they have started Quentin Post. Somebody just mentioned Post. They haven't started Post before. But yeah, you know what? I don't know. I'd have to really think about that. And I have to, think of the Rockets. Let's see, Brooks, Thompson, Şengün, Green. So, yeah, I mean, he could be the guy. I could see that. I mean, look, it could be Kaminga. I don't think it will be. But I was thinking Gary Payton, but then you're awfully small at that point. But you get another defensive player out there. Could be Quentin. I'll have to think about that. But no, I think I would think Gee. Like, that's the first one that jumped to my mind. So you mentioned Gee, and here's the thing about Gee that I love. You know what you're getting from Gee every single time he's on the court. He's a Tasmanian devil. He runs around for loose balls. He runs his ass off up and down the court. He gets on the glass. He's physical. And that's what he does. So you don't have to worry about him like doing a bunch of goofy stuff. You don't have to worry about him forcing the passes and turning the ball over. He'll catch it, shoot it, or pass it. It's quick. Keep it moving. It's not my job to do anything crazy. Let me move the ball. You shoot it, I'll go get it. Ball's on the ground, I'll go get it. That's what I love about Guy. Guy like knows who he is and sticks with the game plan and stays in his own lane. He doesn't try to veer. It always bothers me when players get out of their own lane during the course of a season. You want to get out of your own lane? Do it during the off season. Work on your game. Prove you can do that. And then your lane widens. Or maybe you now have 2 lanes of a basketball skill set in your quiver, so to speak. But not this time of year. Don't keep it narrow. What do I do well? Let's do that. We have guys that can make crazy play. We got Steph. We got Jimmy Butler, healthy. Right? We got Draymond making plays. And they really need to find a way to get Draymond involved offensively. Because I think it's kind of hurting him. Like he's used to being involved offensively. What did he have tonight? Did he even have like 3 assists tonight? What did he have? Draymond had 1 assist. That's it. 5 rebounds, 1 assist, 8 points. But Draymond loves getting people involved. Loves running the show from the top of the key. Pick, pop, catch, get to the middle of the court, find somebody. But he can't do that because of the way they're playing. They're playing with smaller guys, and they're just switching everything, so they can't throw it back to Draymond. And I think it's kind of messing with him a little bit. So hopefully they can figure out a way to unlock him and let him get going. So, all right, what do we got? Does Tom prefer Skittles or Starburst? Starburst. Easy. I'm not a Skittles guy. How do I wake up to catch the flight if I don't wake up till noon? Bro, you're talking about my, 40-year-old Tom Tolbert, okay? I've matured now. I'm an older guy. You know how everybody gets up early when they get older? That's me. I mean, early for me is 8:45, so I don't get up that early. But 8:45, yeah, I'll catch the flight tomorrow. In fact, I already have my phone set, edit set twice, and I call for a wake-up call. I'm not missing it. Can you imagine how devastated I would be? Holy smokes. You've been left in Houston. Although they'd give me one of the cars to drive home, this hotel is actually attached to a Rolls-Royce dealership. It's insane. Like walking into the entrance of the hotel, you see these like Rolls-Royce SUVs. These, it's just like, wow, look at these cars. So I walked in, I go, how much are these? 40, 50? 200K. I'm sorry. Even if I hit the lottery, I'm not buying a $200,000 car. I'm just not doing it. Will any team be willing to pay JK this offseason as much as he's looking for? Maybe not. But JK could always take a 2-year deal somewhere. He'd go somewhere if he wanted to. If he didn't want to be here, he'd go somewhere, do a 2-year deal, and then, raise his stock. And then, boom, now you're making $50-60 million a year. So where's the draft party tomorrow? There is no draft party because you know how I feel about the draft. I'll watch it, of course, but I'll probably record it. I just want to get home, bro. I just want to get home and drink a beer. Just chill with Lou. Go for a walk. I got to drive my mom back to Pinole tomorrow. Did I ever miss a wide open dunk? I don't think so. I don't think I ever clanked one off the back iron. I think Gary did that tonight. But yeah, I got to go to Pinole, drop my mom off at her sister's. When she comes to visit, she goes to Pinole, spends like a week out there, then comes with us, spends like a week, and then I'll go back to Pinole, and then they're going to drive to Vegas together and do their whole bingo thing and all that kind of stuff. So I told her she was going to leave yesterday. I go, hang on. Hey, well, I'm going to be there Thursday. Wait for me, and then I'll drive you to Pinole. So I get a chance to see you for an hour before I say goodbye. So she's like, okay. So she got to enjoy Haley Tolbert's birthday tonight. Let's all wish Haley Tolbert a happy birthday. My youngest, or should I say our youngest, Lori and mine's youngest, Weston, Walker, and then Haley. So happy birthday, Haley. Love you. And Haley said her night was, I go, how was your night? And she goes, well, it was good. She was good. She said it was 20% worse because the Warriors lost. She's a Warrior psycho, basically, is what it comes to. And so she texts me all the time during the game. What are we doing? What was that? Are you kidding me? Are you effing kidding me? And so refs lost control of this game. Hard disagree. Refs didn't lose control of the game. Each team had the same amount of fouls within one. So I don't know what you expect. Do you think the Warriors would play this physical against the Lakers? Let's worry about that when we get the Lakers. Let's hope they get the Lakers, or let's hope they get somebody. Let's hope they're playing in about 10 days. I don't care who it is, Lakers or T-Wolves. T-Wolves, I get my boy Jim Peterson. Get a chance to go back there and visit him, and LA is LA. It's an hour and 15-minute flight. So what adjustments do I think they'll make for games for game 3? Well, I mean, look, maybe they set some screens a little bit higher for Steph to get him going downhill a little bit more, because it's been hard for him. They're just jumping everything with him. So, I mean, look, you can only try as much as you can to get him open, but the Rockets are so focused on him. So everybody wishing Haley happy birthday. Thank you. She'll be very pleased. I don't know if she knows, but I will relay the message that everybody on here is wishing her a happy birthday. I'll have her come on here and talk Warriors one of these days. I'll get her on here and she can just go, oh, like she's such a psycho. She's like Billy Bean. You know, Billy Bean couldn't watch the A's. He'd go to Treasure Island. That's her. She just can't watch. We'll be watching a game together and she'll disappear. I go, where'd you go? She goes, I can't take it. I can't. I just got to go watch it. I got to go check the scores on the phone. And if they're winning, I'll come back and watch it. I'm like, what? Get your ass back here. Watch your damn game with me. Can't do it. Can't do it. She's kind of like me with an Angel game. Well, when they were meaningful. They're not meaningful anymore, but I get it. It's very stressful when your team that you really love and really want to see win is not playing well. It's hard. I totally get it. It's the Billy Bean syndrome. Like, I don't want to watch this. Screw that. I'll just keep track of it. So that's one adjustment I think they can make. Look, offensively, it's like I said, the last 3 games, 96, 95, 94, they've been the same team over and over and over again. Steph hit circus shots in game 1 to help him win that one. So at this point, I'm not sure exactly like if there's a huge adjustment to be made personnel-wise. I mean, I thought Looney played fairly well tonight. I don't know if you play him a little more. He played 13 minutes tonight. So, I mean, he got a few rebounds, few offensive rebounds. Yeah, I don't know. There's nothing that really jumps out to me that says, okay, you have to do this. You got to play bigger to keep him off the glass. Because they did. They only had 11 offensive rebounds tonight. So it wasn't a huge deal. They didn't crush him. Jalen Green got hot. Okay, 13 for 25. If he does that again, tip your cap. I mean, offensively, you'd like to do something to get Steph going and get them off him. But ultimately, what it comes down to is Moody's got to hit shots. If Pods is in there, he's got to hit shots. Quentin Post has to hit shots. Buddy Hield's got to hit shots. Like, you got to loosen up the defense somehow and give Steph a little room to breathe. But Steph deals with this all the time. That's what you get when you're like a top 20, 25 player of all time or whatever he is. He's an all-time great. So, you know, that's how teams deal with you. And so anyway, what happened to Pods tonight? Food sickness, I think it was. I don't know if it was food poisoning or just sickness or whatever, but yeah, I wasn't feeling good. He tried to come out, give it a go, and then went back in the locker room and then tried to come back out second half and give it a go and then just sat on the bench. So he must have been feeling like crap. Oh, hey. Have I ever had a beer with a ref? No, but as soon as I get another beer, I'll tell you a funny story about a referee that I was sharing with a former teammate of mine today. Give me 1 second. Hold on. We got the graphic? There we go. I love that I love the graphic. I might have to just go get beers. I mean, just to see that graphic. This one's from Cellar Maker. This one's called Danksy. It's a collaboration between Cellar Maker and Sante Darius. So very, very tasty. So, by the way, the fan's on right now because I had to dry out my comforter because I spilled water on it today. I actually set a bottle of water on my comforter, and I thought the cap was on it. Cap wasn't on it. It's going go, go, go. I'm like, oh, you gotta be kidding me. So I was drying out my comforter. Seems to be dried. I hope it's dried. That would suck if it wasn't. So yeah, so I won't. Well, I'll tell you who it was. It was I think it was Bruce Alexander was the official. And for those, I've told this story before. You may have heard me tell it on the air, but if you haven't, this, for once and for all, when people say, "Oh, do refs make makeup calls?" Do refs? They do. Trust me, they do. At least they used to. They might not anymore. But Bruce Alexander, we're playing Cleveland one year, and Steve actually happened to be on the Cavaliers that year, and he was sitting on the bench, and I cut from left to right down to the block, the right block. Like if you're looking top of the key, I'm on the right side. So I go and I catch the ball on the block on the move, and I turn. I was going to shoot a little jump shot, and Larry Nance, who's long as hell, like he's just like, So I put my arm up like this to block him, but I didn't go like this. So I shot it over him, made it, and Bruce called me for an offensive foul. And I said, Bruce, what? He goes, he extended the arm. I go, no, I didn't. Didn't extend the arm. Didn't move it at all. I just held it up there. He goes, no, I had you moving it. I go, well, I didn't move it. He said, all right, let me go take a look at it at halftime. Come back out, second half, warm up. He comes up to me, and he says, I looked at it at halftime, and you're right, you didn't move it. I shouldn't have called that foul. I go, told you. He goes, go ahead and take one to the hole. He goes, I got you. So, like, within the first 2 minutes of the second half, I get the ball left wing, pump fake, dribble, lay it up, good. Nobody came within a foot of me. Boop! Foul. And I have no idea who he called it on, but they were like, what? First off, we didn't come close to this guy. Second off, it's what? That's not Michael Jordan. That's Tom Tolbert, okay? You can't, what are you talking about? That was a foul. He goes, foul, gotcha, reaching in. And he just looked at me, and I just looked at him. So, look, if I can get a makeup call, trust me, other players with better stature than I have gotten makeup calls. So, for those that say it didn't exist, oh, it did exist. I don't know if it still does. They're more like robots now. So, anyway. Oh, that's tasty. Well, yeah, because this caller, yeah, on the air tonight, I said I don't have hair, and Tim said I had it on my face, but he was right. Technically, I do have hair on my head, but it was fucking cold. It was cold in that arena. We're sitting there, and I have a beanie, and I meant to bring it tonight. I was going to wear it when I was doing the game. Because as you can tell, bald, like no hair, none. By the way, that's my grandson Kai's favorite activity. All I got to do is like do this right in front of him, and he goes, well, maybe not, God damn, maybe not that hard, but he just smacks my head, just pow, 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 pow. But I meant to bring the beanie because we sit right under a draft. I mean, right under a draft. I'm like, wait, what? And it goes on, and then goes off, goes on, goes on, goes on. And when it goes on, it's cold. Like I'm sitting there calling the game like this. Oh, what a call! What a call! What a call! Oh man, you can't make that pass. What do we do? Oh, and then I can loosen up a little bit, and I mean, it would help that I'm not dressing like I'm, in the White Lotus. I got like khakis on and a white terry cloth shirt and stuff. Like, I get it. That's why I don't complain too much, because people could say, rightfully so, Tom, maybe dress a little warmer. Do you have long sleeve like shirt? Do you have like jeans that are warmer than the short? I actually didn't wear shorts, although I do wear shorts when I'm calling games, but not here. On the road, I wear pants because I don't know if I'm going to be in an enclosed area. I don't want to be walking around anyway. But yes, I do have hair on my face, obviously. But it's chilly, so I'm not going to make that mistake again. I actually have a beanie where I call the games at Chase. I leave a beanie there because it's cold there too. But I'm ready there. I have a beanie waiting. If I ever need to put the beanie on, I just pull that bad boy on, and I'm good to go. Because look, unless you're bald, you don't know the cold of the bald man. The cold of the bald man is much different than the cold of the follically enriched man. Like, you just now you know why babies wear little do-rags and little beanies all the time, because your head gets cold. You get cold. Like, it doesn't matter if you have like, oh man, I got the parka on, I'm good to go. If your head gets cold, you're screwed. So yeah, I try to keep the head as warm as possible, and I failed miserably. I thought Houston, come on, Houston's gonna be fine, right? We're gonna be good to go. Not so much. Tom might be now. Come on, I'm on my second beer. Steve, that's my buddy, by the way. I think he was actually there when I drank all those beers in Vegas. Yeah, this is my second beer. Fuck off, pal. Go drink your Crown Royal. It's my pal. That's all he drinks, Crown Royal. Coke and Crown. Coke. And he buys these big freaking tumblers of Coke and Crown, and like Coke's like this, Crown's like this. Massive Crown. I can't stand Crown. I can't do that. The cold of a bald man can't be as cold as the cold of a tropical man. Maybe not. I don't know. I'm not a tropical man. But I am a bald man, and it gets a little chilly. So, anyhow, we have any more? What do we got? Anything you want to ask about other series? I've watched others. I mean, I haven't watched all the Eastern Conference series, but I've watched most of the Western Conference. Clippers Nuggets that's going to be it already is a great series. That's probably going to go 7, I would think. But that's a good one. I've enjoyed that series. I can't wait to get home tomorrow. You know what I can't wait to get home to do? Watch some hockey. I haven't been able to watch as much hockey as I'd like to. So get home, watch some Stanley Cup playoffs. I love the Stanley Cup playoffs. Maybe one of these years Sharks get back in. Clippers in 7, 6, 7. I got the Clippers winning it. I think Clippers are a better team. They're deeper. If Kawhi's playing like Kawhi's playing, then they're going to be awfully tough to beat. And Zubats is good. And you're right, Pistons are balling. Pistons could have won that first game if not for a 21-0 run by the Knicks. I mean, maybe a lot of that was just nerves. I'm not sure, or just happenstance. But Pistons are playing good. I still think the Knicks will find a way to win that. And don't sleep on the Pacers either. Don't sleep on the Pacers getting further than just this round. And so, go Sharks. Yeah, I like the Pacers' depth. I like their athleticism. I like the way they fit together and complement one another. So, I don't think I don't think Milwaukee, even if Dame were healthy, would win that series. I just don't think they're athletic enough. But we'll see. Who knows? I still think in the end it's going to be Cavs Boston, and if it's not, I'll be a little surprised. We'll find out what Tatum's injury is. If it's serious, I don't know. I know he missed tonight's game with a bruised wrist. That would put a dent in their plans, but they're so good early they can withstand it. But the second round will be a little tougher for him because the second round would be the Knicks or the Pistons, I guess. So, do the Wolves take down the Lakers? They could. They could. I mean, the Wolves are good. The Wolves have been playing good. Anthony Edwards is a bad dude. I mean, he is really good. He's probably the closest thing to Jordan that the NBA has nowadays. And not that he is Jordan, but just the way he moves, the way he carries himself, the way he finishes in the lane, some of the stuff he does. I'm like, oh, man. Like, not since Kobe has anybody reminded me of Jordan. Like, and Kobe was almost like a clone. Like, even the ball would go through the bucket the way Jordan went when Kobe shot it. So, but that, I mean, it really depends on how some of their ancillary players shoot the ball, right? Whether it's McDaniels or Naz Reid. Naz Reid had a great game one, didn't shoot it all that well in game two. I thought Randall was really good offensively. The Lakers had a hard time stopping him in game two. But Anthony Edwards wasn't great in game two. Like DiVincenzo, Connolly. I like their team a lot. And I like Finch as a coach. I like him a lot. And look, I think JJ can coach. JJ Redick. Doesn't he look fucking miserable, though? Doesn't JJ Redick just look like an absolute miserable human being? Like, I don't know if he is or not. He may be a great guy. Maybe a great guy to go up beers with. I don't know. But God, like at press conferences and that, I know he doesn't want to do the talking to TNT at the end of the third quarter or first whatever, but geez. I mean, it's not a party. You don't got to act like you're loving it, but he looks like he's getting his teeth taken out with dynamite. Like he just looks absolutely miserable. So is he enjoying this? I don't know. If he's I don't know, but he's done a good job with him. And obviously, with Luka and LeBron and Reeves, they're a tough team, and they came out and punched Minnesota in the mouth in game two, just like Minnesota did to them in game one. That could go 7. Like that's a good series, and they do it in different ways, right? I'll say this. With Luka, I think Luka's a great player. Incredibly talented offensively. I hate that he complains all the time. You can't stand it. Every time. Even if he makes a bucket, he's fucking complaining. Like, hey, wait, like just play. Just play. That's all you got to do. Just play. He can't do it, though. But I wonder if he's like James Harden in a sense, like if a team can ever win a championship with him. Because, man, when he gets the ball, it's just and guys are standing around. And that was why I always want the Warriors to win, of course, but I really wanted them to beat the Rockets back when Harden was there. Because it was almost like a referendum on basketball. Team basketball versus ISO basketball. Like mathematics versus not mathematics. And I just, if the Warriors lost, I'm like, geez, everyone's going to want a player like Harden. And don't get me wrong, Harden's a great player. He's fantastic too. And he's different now than he was in Houston. But he was like, give him the ball, spread it out, 4 wide, and just let him go. Right? Go all the way to the hoop. When he was conning the officials into getting him to the free throw line, just throwing his arms and body into everybody, go to the free throw line 14 times a game. Or just pitch it out to teammates for 3-pointers. And they tried to math the system. And it almost worked until they went 0 for 27. Maybe a 2. Maybe mix in a 2. You're good. So I always felt that about James Harden. And I wonder if that's going to be Luka. Incredibly talented, super tough to stop. Can he win a championship? They got there last year, didn't win. Can he win a championship playing the way he plays? Can he play team basketball? And that may not be the exact way to say it, but, when guys are standing around watching you work and not really moving and cutting and doing all that kind of stuff, I'm just not sure how it's going to work. And yes, to the prior person, yeah, playoff Kawhi when he's healthy is scary. Absolutely terrifying. That guy is so good. and he just shoots darts, man. It's just like, fap, fap, fap. They're lasers, absolute lasers. No arc on the ball, just wah. And then he's got these massive mitts, and he just gets down, and it's like, oh. It's like looking into your soul when you have the ball. Like if I'd have played when Kawhi was around, it would have been the same thing as like Pippen or Jordan, and they guarded me. Every once in a while, they'd switch off me. I'd get rid of the fucking ball as quickly as I could. I'm like, nothing good could come from this. I have the ball. Pippen's guarding me 27 feet away from the bucket. What could happen that works in our favor? Quick calculations, nothing. Like zero. Maybe if I throw the ball off his leg and it goes out of bounds, we get to run an inbound play. That's it. Like, it's just not going to work well for me. So it's like, okay, who's open? Let me get him the ball quickly. And let me move. Let me just get to the weak side and go stand in the corner. Maybe I can shoot a jump shot or something. But that's Kawhi. Like, Kawhi is scary. He's like almost like stealing your soul when he's looking into you. Like, because he like, Kawhi ain't talking. Kawhi ain't doing nothing. Kawhi just balling, and he's just crushing you. And Kawhi's like, I'm good at basketball. Give me the ball. And he just kills you. That's pretty much it. I love Kawhi. I just wish Kawhi had been healthy over the last 4 or 5 years. It's fun to watch him play. Like, he is awesome. And so, yeah, don't make Kawhi laugh. No doubt about that. All right, what do we got? Let's go ahead and wrap it up fairly soon. I got to get to bed. What time is it? Holy shit. It's almost 2 o'clock here. It's almost midnight, you hooligans. You guys are like, you guys got to be going to bed, don't you? What is today? What is today? Today's Wednesday. God damn. Tomorrow's a work day for everybody. What are you guys doing? I mean, look, I appreciate it. I love you guys for staying up with me, but it's like 2 o'clock. I got to get up and catch a plane. You guys got to get up and get to work, I would imagine. Some of you, I would think. But maybe you don't. I don't know. So we'll take a couple more if you want. If not, we can just wrap it up. And then, so the plan is Friday. Bergie's coming over. And we're going to do NFL draft. So we'll talk about the Niners' first-round pick. And we'll kind of lead into the second round. We may even be on the air for the second-round pick. So I don't know. Probably coming around 2 or 3. It's going to be, I think, like a little gloomy. It's not going to be all that warm out there, but the hell, I'll wear a sweater. We'll grab some beers, and we won't have to worry about the sun too much. Get the bunny cam fired up. Bergie, and NFL draft coverage. There you go. Where do you get that? Nowhere else, as far as I know. I'm not sure where else you'd want to get that, but thank you, Fred. Oh, classy Freddie Blassie. Nice. Old school wrestling. I like it. I like it a lot. Oh, man. All right, everybody. Have a great evening. Enjoy yourselves. And the plan is Saturday to do it again. For me, at a better hour, because I'll be on West Coast time with everybody. So I was about to say with y'all. Have you noticed that people are saying y'all and they're not from the South? Just randomly. Like, hope y'all have a good night. Are you from Alabama? No, San Leandro. Fucking what? Since when did people from San Leandro say y'all? I don't know. So I don't know. But it seems like people from like all over, other than the South, are saying y'all now. And I always thought, I always associated with y'all from the South, because my dad grew up in Alabama. So I just y'all and yonder. No one says yonder. I don't even care where. You got to be from down south to say yonder. So how do you get to the liquor store? Well, you go down here, take a left, and then you go down yonder a piece. You got to say a piece, too. You go down yonder a piece, and you run into a barn. And you're at the barn. You won't run into it, but you can go past the barn. You take it right after the barn and go down yonder again, And then after a couple pieces, you'll be at the liquor store. All right, cool. Thanks for letting me know. Excuse me, do you know anybody else I can ask? Because those directions made no sense to me whatsoever. So anyway, Friday, be back. Saturday, after the game. We're going to try to do this as long as the Warriors are in it and you guys want to get together and talk, we'll get together and talk after the game. So anyway, have a great day tomorrow. I'll talk to you guys Friday and talk to you again on Saturday. But until Friday, take care, everybody. I'll see you. Out.